This is my latest project, and I really don't know where to start. My boss, where I work, and I will say, I have to be careful what I say, because I like my work and everything. Everything's great about it. I work in a shop that makes traditional bows. This right here is a bow. It's all wood. It's all exotic wood. And this is called a signature series. And here is the owner that signs it. His name's Gail. And this is like zebra wood and rosewood and babinga, and they have all kinds of other names for it. We don't use any normal wood. All the stuff is exotic from Africa and places like that. Anyway, my boss gave me permission to take this home over the weekend because I do work, you've seen my other projects that I work on. As a fine finish painter, now in the time I've worked where I work, and I work in a shop, it's called Damon Howatt. Damon Howatt was a gentleman that started his traditional bow company, and this Martin bought him out. And I happened to walk into Martin Archery. They were advertising a job. I had no idea of anything about these bows or anything. And I walked back in there and they were making these wooden bows, and I just fell in love with the place because they're just works of art. All these are handmade. This is called a sight window right here. This part from here down to the bottom of the wood is called a riser. I had no idea. And I paint these. We paint them with a lot of clear coats in a paint booth, and it's really fun. We have one gentleman that will take the wood, the rough wood, and cut it, and then what he does is he glues all of it together and he makes the handle. That's what he does. Now it doesn't look like this. It's just a big rough kind of a wedge right here. Then what happens is it gets sent to another gentleman who's been there. These gentlemen I'm speaking of, and I'm not going to use their names, but the one with the least experience has got over 30 years. I mean, they really know their stuff. There's no computerized anything, buttons or whistles. All these machines are beautiful works of art, one of a kind, and they're all old school. Then after the rough handle is made, it doesn't look like this, or the riser, then the other gentleman puts the limbs on, which are fiberglass and wood underneath. It can be clear fiberglass or black fiberglass. This one has a brown, a beautiful brown. Then what happens is after that's done, it goes over to the master bowman. I believe it's called Boyer. And this gentleman is a really interesting guy to talk to. And what he does is he shapes the handle right here. As you can see how it fits. Each one of these handles is shaped and made by eye. And they're cut by a man that's been doing it for a very, very long time. And it's just beautiful the way they are. Then after that, the handle comes over to the sanding department, and we fine sand the handles. We have 6 or 7 kind of bows, I think. I'm not sure. I'm not a bow guy, so I don't know. But we fine sand it, and then what we do is we send it off for paint, and it gets a multiple number of beautiful satin catalyzed clear coats, and in between each coat they're brought back to the shop and they're sanded smooth, and then they're given a final coat, and they have to pass the inspection. And the inspection is an absolute bitch. I mean, these have got to be, I love it and I hate it, but these have got to be absolutely perfect before they're given the go-ahead to leave this to be sent out. And I paint them, and I love to paint them. I didn't sign on as painter. I signed on as a sander, and they asked me if I knew how to paint, and I said yes. So we'll continue.